which leads to the scriptures that let it be known of how to handle certain situation, especially within the kingdom. If your brother sin against you, pull him to the side and show him his fault. If he acknowledge his fault, then you won him over. But if he doesn't, bring two or three witnesses in. If he don't acknowledge his fault within the two or three witnesses, bring it to the church. Now, if he don't acknowledge his fault when the church get involved, then he must be put out and cast out and be treated as a heathen. Now, this particular scripture goes well within this situation, especially within the story as well as its perspective, because marriage, it, despite what's going on in this society, marriage is still a sacred thing, and we'll get to that extra stuff later. But it's still a sacred thing between a man and a woman. So if it gets to a point where a man is looking at another man's wife, which gets to a scripture where Jesus said, you've heard thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say, if a man look at a woman with lust in his eyes, he committed adultery in his heart. So boundaries still gonna need to be set. Boundaries still need to be acknowledged in this, that, and the third. But if it gets to the point where a line has been crossed, a boundary has been crossed, then yes, hey, bro, let's talk here. Yeah. I'm seeing that this, and that, and it doesn't look good. Or I'm seeing this, or I'm uncomfortable with this. If you acknowledge it, cool, and we'll squash from there. Which many of us, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, don't get that much stories about two guys just being like, "Hey, man, you checking out my wife too hard, man."
Well, it's always that spirit of offense,
right? Because it's easy to be like, "What you saying I'm doing what with your wife?" Get on somewhere with that,
right?
Like, nah. If we can be humble enough, everybody, wife, husband, single friend, whatever the case may be, if we can be honest with each other enough to be like, hey, I don't know if you're acknowledging this, but something is not right over here, and I want to let it be known, because I know you'll keep it with $1 with me, and I definitely know you'll keep it $2 with me. So, and exactly. The thing of it is for others believers, no matter what situation they're in, even if the relationship is not marital, it's just two people just getting to know each other, or dating, or courting, whatever the case may be, complicated, whatever. If it gets to the point where things needs to be addressed, then there be addressed when boundaries are crossed or no longer being acknowledged. Then yes, get to what I said, back to the drawing board. Hey, I want to show you what I consider to be your fault, and and I don't want to make assumption, but here's what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Wife, I love you, but here's what I consider as a fault, and I don't know, and I don't want to make assumption out of this, and vice versa. So whatever the case may be, it should get to the point where we should be able to be like, hey, I don't know if this is right, so help me to understand this. Or do you want to tell me why this looks like this? And hopefully it stays to the point where to be like, hey, I'm sorry, but that's not what it's supposed to be. Or I really wasn't trying to do that to you. Or forgive me, that was too far. I'm sorry. That should not even been crossed like that. That's not even me. You know that is not me. When somebody say, that ain't me. You know me better than that. That's the thing. I do know you better than that.
But that can also be used as an excuse too.
Exactly.
I've seen a lot of men, man, you know me better than that, and then go around and
do it again.
Bumping uglies with the spouse. That's not okay. That's also too, just to where you finished.
No, okay. Keep going.
No.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
You sure?
Yes.
How short? So she still got something. I would love for her to continue, but if she want to hold on, then I appreciate that. So, and it gets to the point where we all need to, no matter what situation we're in, no matter what position we're in, as far as the circle that we present ourselves, because it can be one married person out of a whole single person, people. If it's group, and one thing I want to say, if a group of single people respect the married person enough to be like
the odd wheel,
and you want to,
couldn't do.
And you want to know the crazy thing, and a lot of men don't probably need to address this. At least a lot of married men need to address this. When anybody be like, "Hey, P, we're gonna go do such thing. You want to roll with us?" Here's what people need to acknowledge. When the husband say, "Yeah, let me check on my wife," or "Yeah, that sounds cool. Let me holler at my wife first." That, and I hope she agrees with me when I said it. That is not a sign of weakness. That's not a sign of simping. That's
Right.
not even a sign of me losing my manhood. Because when you're married,
he's not whipped. He respects.
That's the thing. Exactly. It's the respect part. It's that boundary that's being highlighted. It's being blinked up in with the spotlight and all that blinking light. It's letting it be known like, yo, as much as I want to hang out and this, that, and the third, I definitely want to make sure my wife know that where I'm finna go and what I'm finna do and who I'm rocking with. Because as much as I would love to go do this, that, and the third, I definitely want to make sure that my wife don't get on the phone texting me talking about where are you at? Pierre, question mark. Where are you? Question mark.
AKA being a nuisance when I don't have to be.
And then all of a sudden get a phone call like, Pierre, where are you? Are you heading? Are you coming home? Are you stuck? Oh my God! Oh, this is the last thing I want to do. Not just for the sake of keeping her calm, but I don't want to lose my sanity just to make sure that she understand I'm good. I'm just with the boys, or I'm with my dude. I'm at this place. Just such. It's best to give a heads up now than to just wait until she calling, she panicking and she upset and she got this aggressive growl in her voice while she's crying at the same time talking about, where are you? I'm scared. I'm about to burn this house down if you don't tell me where you at. Stuff like that.
I want to interrupt this embarrassing story because that actually happened. He got to work and he forgot to text me he was there, and I almost got cussed out by the shipping and receiving person because I was worried that he didn't make it to work. So, yeah, that's where that came from.
And hopefully those that's watching it can relate in some shape or form, and who knows, maybe flooded with comments about, I understand, let me tell you. But other than that, God willing. But anywho, it is important to set boundaries. It's important to respect boundaries. It's important to acknowledge a boundary that needs to be fully detailed. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely dope to be in a position where you can be like, hey, I want to let you know I'm kind of uncomfortable with this, what you're doing, and hopefully it's not what it is, but just let you know. And hopefully it gets to the point where it stops right here, as opposed to this person saying, you know what, you tripping, I don't understand what you talking about, you over there out of your mind. And then, okay, sister such, brother such, y'all acknowledge what she was doing, right? All right, so just let you know this is the case. You're not listening to them? Okay. Brothers and sisters in the congregation.
Essentially what it comes down to is accountability. That's what that, just to let everybody know, that's what that scripture is essentially saying. If the person doesn't acknowledge they're wrong or does not hold themselves accountable for that, then there's some other accountability. If they don't acknowledge accountability with those people, then other accountability. If they don't acknowledge it there, then hey, you know, we love you. However, now from a distance, because accountability is a big part of being a Christian, and that's not what you hold. Hopefully I didn't misinterpret that scripture the wrong way. And if anybody else believes that scripture that you know that we're talking about to say something else, don't come for me in the comments. It's just an opinion of what I believe that interpretation of the scripture to be. All of this is just opinion of what we agree on and what we may disagree on and everything like that. Because I see people go at it in the comments. I done had my fair share, and I'm just like, why was this necessary? But that's that.